Welcome to Good Morning Anambra Friday episode. It's first day of July 2022 and thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's a new month and it's a new blessing for all of us. Good morning once again. My name is Nonye Nwokoye and I'm so delighted to welcome you to the first day in the month of July 2022. Let's begin the Good Morning Anambra show now with the press review. You're welcome. Oh. All right, we are delighted to welcome you to the press review. Press review this morning, it's a time we look at some of our national dailies, stories making the headlines, and of course on ABS website. And we'll begin with stories making the headlines on ABS website. Quickly, let me inform you that we have a guest in the studio to help us look at these papers. He is Ejike Abatai, Public Affairs Analyst. Good to have you in the studio, Ejike.
And happy new month.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, the website of the ABS reads, Anambra government reassures restate commitment Anambra Health Commissioner visits Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University Teaching Hospital, Awka, tasked staff on dedication to duty. INEC asked journalists to be guided by new provisions of Electoral Act in election coverage. Ms. Oluebube Obona of Divine Race British School, Obosi, wins maiden Igbo Spelling Bee contest in Nigeria. 127 farmers in Anambra receives free farm inputs from State Fadama. All right, we apologize for the mix-up. Now let's take the real story. Anambra government restates commitment to resuscitating collapsed water schemes. Soludo restates resolve to promote qualitative education. NAPTEP worries over the meaning of certificate. And Anambra government allays fears on outbreak of monkeypox. All right, education. What story are you looking at? Commitment of resuscitating a collapsed water scheme. You know, before now, I remembered when I came into Onitsha newly, we had tap in our compound and we fetched water from the public tap.
Yes, I talked about this a fortnight ago with IJ. It's something that we need to resuscitate, as has been said. This idea of each compound having a borehole is not ideal, not in any way ideal, because it weakens the earth surface. So in the event of any natural disaster, God forbid, we may find buildings, properties, even human beings sinking into the ground. So when the idea of having a public water scheme
it's become central.
When it was conceived, it was for a purpose, it was for a reason, and we seem to have jettishoned it. Everybody now wants to have, everybody now provides his or her own water. Of course, it's as a result of failure of government and government policies. That's why we are having such things. But if we're able to have this Awka, Onitsha, and other cities in Anambra State, yes, it will make a whole lot of sense.
You know, and to think that each family majority of families now have water boreholes in their compound is frightening, because I think I've listened to a professional in that area talk about the dangers of, indiscriminate sinking of boreholes in our communities.
I never knew about it until I attended a seminar here in Oka, and it just came as a flash. We are in it's like a death trap, but we do not know it. So government needs to resuscitate these water schemes.
Okay, now Soludo State resolved to promote qualitative education, and I think that's part of the reason the exams for teachers were made last 3 weeks, 2 weeks ago.
It's also part of it. Even those who are already in service, yes, they should be retrained
from time to time.
Yes,
okay.
Because knowledge is not static. You must continue to refresh yourself. If not, you will be left behind. And of course, even some students or pupils, even pupils, are brighter than some of their teachers. I dare say that. Because how many of the teachers we have in our public schools can be able to sit with a computer and work with it? So there's every need for us. And then the new intakes, that's where it starts. Government should make sure that people who are who are about to be employed are computer literate. Very, very. So, Tony Elumelu, this is one sure way. It's not, you don't bring in people and say you want to give empowerment. If there's one empowerment scheme I can vouch for, it is Tony Elumelu, because it's like sitting for an exam. He doesn't just throw money to everybody or say, go to this community, bring 5%, no. If you are interested, it's thrown open to everybody. But the process is very, very tedious, such that those who emerge are really worth it. That is people come to me and then say, help me apply. And before you help somebody to be sure the person has something on ground. Be sure the person understands what he or she is going into. Because it's like sitting for an exam and not just O-level exam. No, the process is very, very tedious. So that at the end of the day, if you are giving $1,000, you know you are worth the money, and he follows you through.
This particular one now, what do you think it holds for the youth?
We have youth. Nigerian youths are creative, of course. We have people who tell stories in different forms, writing, films, paintings, and all whatnot. It's a window for them to be able to showcase what they do. And I can bet that several of also we have a way of telling stories around what is happening. So it's one way of letting people expressing themselves, and at the same time getting something from it. Yeah. So it will really help Nigerian youths. $2,000 in today's economy is a huge amount of money. So it's enough to set somebody up and then begin to employ others. All
right, as we wrap up, let's use this story to wrap up. This issue of attack on our checkpoints, sometimes you see that some checkpoints now are just there. You don't see security men. For instance, the one at along Nibo Road, going from Agwoka.
And that place now is a flashpoint.
Yes, and a lot of places now, people, and there's this attack in Enugu now at a checkpoint again. So I don't know what this is saying of this generally security in our nation.
Look at it from this perspective. It's a case of somebody who is attempting to kill a snake, being very careful, while the snake that is being attacked is also being careful in terms of attacking the person who is about to kill it. Some persons have claimed that when they get to a checkpoint, they meet military people in camouflage, and the same people were the ones who abducted them. So even if you are driving and you meet a checkpoint, you are not so confident of the people who are wearing those camouflage. They could either be military men or they could be bandits or terrorists or people who are there just to abduct people. So it's a two-pronged thing. We do not know now. We do not know who to trust. If the checkpoints are there, we are scared. If the checkpoints are not there, we are equally scared. Such that even where there are checkpoints, and you have those who are at the checkpoints are not even sure of themselves because the attacks can come at any point in time. And I should also say that Nibo Isiago Road, it's now coming closer to us. So we need to be very, very careful. If security agencies can come up with ways to identify genuine checkpoints or genuine people, their security operatives at checkpoints, so that people will have a slight confidence when they are plying the roads. Because that's Nibo Isiago Road. I'm particular about that road because that road is a quiet road with less human activities. There are you have only vast expanse of lands on both sides of the road. So it makes easy for people who abduct people to mount their or have their camps there. Okay. So it's very, very scary plying that road. But whatever be the case, security agencies should be up and doing.
All right, that's just about it on the press review for this morning. Would like to thank you so much, Ejike, for coming this morning.
Thank you very much.
And to let you know that we have more coming up on Good Morning Anambra. Do stay.
This is ABS, Heartbeat of the East.
GM stands for genetically modified, which